Peace FM 104.3. Good to meet you.
I think in over 400 acres at Yama Otumfuo. Talking about public lands. There's been stories about Otumfuo there. Me who say Rashid Pelpo ma shebejeni adi atuja say enye kwampaso na mufa is wrong, it's blah blah blah. When are you minister? What's the story?
Chama de dikan. Otumfuo asante hene. Ene asante mai insa asema sebi. Sebio abeye amanyosem ye twe asem no aboso a ene abeye subject matter of front pages Otumfuo say no mesre akase me di hu yaw kakra pa aha me kakra pa nam say menyini say bibia na ese adiye amanyosem de kansem ne sebi egu nipa hu fi na akoyese me tieti bi mu kra chese Otumfuo de na ho de na agi asase akufado de asase am Otumfuo nya ne kwan so it's really unfortunate. Now let me just begin by saying that look, near ya fa asanteman ensase ho no a huge historical injustice and I right part of big historical injustice, and I'll tell you why.
Any historical injustice.
Okay, so in 1943, the then colonial government, through the Kumasi Lands Ordinance 1943, acquired approximately 1,235.76 acres or 500.09 hectares of land in Kumasi. And I mentioned yes, colonial government.
Okay.
1943 through the Kumasi Lands Ordinance 1943. Now, my mention, sir, Golden Tulip, Regional Coordinating Council, the Nyame Fasa Enclave Kofe Dum, the very center of Kumasi. Colonial government is assassinating.
So the heading.
In fact, the story behind it actually was that the fights, the struggles between Asante and the colonial government and the rest, the British wanted an enclave. The Asante establishment. Yes, Mobia Maho. That sort of thing. That was actually the rationale to more like provide a safe zone.
To send them here regional.
Pepe.
Rage work, I mean.
Omoji Omo compensation.
Omentia
compensation.
Instead by force acquisition.
Yes. Na afidie eko nenima ema answer na yebenya ye fa hodi independence no. Colonial government no sade nsase no ema golden stool. And then 1958, 1959. Again, the behind the scene story is that after the formation of the NLM by Bafakutono and the rest, the belief was that these lands were the lands which was being used, the process of which any day financing opposition politics and so on. That is supposed to be the story. Then again, the lands were acquired by the First Republic government. Now, in all of this, and which is the most important point, compensation was not paid. Compensation.
Compensation.
And 2014, Chairman. 2014. Redevelopment or Kanda, redevelopment or Ridge, redevelopment or Cantonment, redevelopment Switchback, and redevelopment at the airport. The Ashanti Regional Lands Commission in 2014 submitted a redevelopment proposal for the redevelopment of what we call Sector 18, which is these lands I've just referred to, the 1943 acquisition land. So in 2014, Lands Commission, Regional Lands Commission, say, redevelopment just as we did with cantonments and the rest. They call it infilling, and so on. So they brought that plan forward. Anna Omoko Asante Menshia Palace
in 2014.
And discussed this redevelopment plan with him. Now they had to go to the Asante Hini because, strictly speaking, the land is not properly acquired by the state because compensation has not been paid. The matter to do compensation, I know some of your listeners will be raising that issue. A lot of people have called me about it, about a provision in the Constitution who says that the Supreme Court
1993.
Yes, the Supreme Court.
Yes, it's one due compensation at HM.
It's not entirely correct, Chairman. It's not entirely correct. I've sought a legal opinion on that. It's not entirely. The matter that went before the court, the issues before the court are fundamentally different from the issues we are dealing with here. But that's another matter. I think I'm going to have an opportunity to deal with it in Parliament today. But let's concentrate on the Otumfuo matter. Then they went to Asante Hene and said to Menchia Palace that, look, we want to engage in this redevelopment. And you say you know you share compensation semi. Now if you compensation from 1943 bedroom ne. Not just say sebi you kwakutia compensation. Abansi Kenya ne bakutia sa compensation enye. Until after series of negotiations, it was agreed that government of Ghana will retain 50% of the land, and Asanteman and the Golden Stool will retain 50% of these lands. The lands popularly referred to as Sector 18. Chairman, on 11th August 2016, the then Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Ni Osamils, submitted a memorandum to Cabinet, and by this I mean submitted a memorandum to President Mahama's Cabinet for approval to redesign and redevelop the Sector 18 lands and to return 50% of the land to the Golden Stool. This is 11th August 2016.
Okay.
Cabinet on 1st September 2016 gave approval for the redevelopment of the Kumasi Sector 18 land and the return of 50% of the land to the Golden Stool, subject to extending the redevelopment scheme to other regions. So, on 1st September 2016, the Cabinet of President Mahama gave approval to what we are being criticized for today, that 50% of this Sector 18 land should be given to the Asante.
But Ora Rashid Popo, who was a minister in that regime and also was a high-ranking official in that government, are you saying it's only way?
Facts are sacrosanct. I mean, I was trained as a lawyer, so these are the records, and these are not my records. These are records at the registry of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. These are not my records. The cabinet memorandum is there. The cabinet decision is there. If today President Akufo-Addo's cabinet takes a decision, it's a decision of record. Cabinet is a body of record. Omampeni Akufo-Addo to me mekase decision to me take cabinet decision to say this. No making cabinet.
Are we trying to say Asema Benti Mahama ne?
Menkasa akra meba Mahama nyeshi. Mama in some way and some me make nyina Mahama de bia meka Mahama President Kufuor nyeshi President Mills nye President Mahama nyeshi. Ejuma bi o maya ya ba beto a ye gidi se ne kwan so a ya to aso aye amane wie no means me gyina anka se President Mahama edi boni ana President Mahama e bibia nsem fata. In fact me bo President Mahama abaso say cabinet decision o take here na ne kwan so ano no. Look, and that's why I'm saying that this it's historical injustice, not only in Asanteman, in several parts of the country. And I'll give you a gist of it. Until 1st September 2016, President Mahama's cabinet gave approval for 50% of these lands to be returned to the Asanteman, to be returned to the Golden Stool. Asanteman and Saka Omunsa say you're more dear. And the nice time see me team so. And to say, sebi, chinchim abayin sana yaji asase na say yafa kwan boni bi so na. Omo asase dada. Asase a Golden Stool kura dada, Asantema kura dada 1943. Abrofo de omo pe ebeji free omo nsem. Na omakwa Otumfuo call all the way to the Supreme Court over this matter. They fought all the way to the Supreme Court. Na ene ya corrected this wronger. Now I don't think that anybody can quarrel with us about it. And Chairman, very significant. Like give you 2 points. I mean, see this say, ni nyina ebeboa nkomo na yedi. Enye ne ebi mu kat say Akufo-Addo aban na aba or de Ghana nsase ma ahemfo de ma amanfo de ma ebusuafo ni say enye de kure. Chairman, in 2009 and I mean it's a shame that we have to go through, and a lot, I mean the more we get pushed, the more a lot will come out. And in 2009 EI 72 of 1974 acquired 225.18 acres of land, and the land was acquired to be used as a site for the Accra Training College. In 2009, President Mills, in his wisdom, and I have no reason or have no basis to question the judgment of President Mills in this matter. No, I want to believe that the president was satisfied that this is the right action that he should take. President Mills, through EI 16 of 2009, released 114.055 acres of these lands to the pre-acquisition owners. What will somebody say about that? In 2004, President Kufuor Accra Nungua Otinshi lands, which was acquired through EI 17 of 1978, measuring 412.60 acres, and it was acquired for the purposes of constructing the Center for Scientific and Industrial Research. Through EI 8 of 2004, President Kufuor returned these lands to the pre-acquisition owners. I have absolutely no justification to question the judgment of President Kufuor by causing the execution of EI 8 of 2004 for these lands to be returned to the pre-acquisition owners. The president, I believe, had justifiable reasons to take the decision that he took. Chairman, in 2012, EI 113 acquired 286.26 acres, and the acquisition was for the construction of a women's training center. EI 17 of 2012, I don't know the month, so it may be under President Mills or President Mahama, released all the lands except 35 acres of those lands to the pre-acquisition owners. I have no reason to question the judgment of the president of the time. So is it also in 2009, Accra Adenta site for West African Secondary School, EI 107 of 1968, acquired 199.72 acres. By EI 15 of 2009, the lands were released to the pre-acquisition owners. And it goes on and on and on. I have so many of these EIs where lands have been released to the pre-acquisition owners. So, in fact, Chairman, the Constitution, the 1982 Constitution, Nipa Bibri inform Margin Constitution, 1982 Constitution. There's a provision in the 1992 Constitution which divests all lands in northern Ghana. All lands in northern Ghana have been divested by a provision in the 1992 Constitution.
Okay, say divested, that will be in charge of
divested, nature say you've almost vested in the state. Just say, mine,
yeah, the mine, or mine,
almost the share or mine, the to me, torso. Constitution actually say something sama ahemfo sama abusuafo sama tindana for into 1992 Constitution. So there cannot even be an issue of the release of lands which were acquired before the Constitution came into being when it comes to Northern Ghana, unless of course the acquisitions which have happened since 1992. So for Northern Ghana, the justice has been done for all of Northern Ghana and across Ghana, Chairman. Santiman, Achima Boakwa, Fantiman Temu, Eastern region, Volta region, and of course Greater Accra. the petitions I have on my desk for the release of lands to pre-acquisition owners in Greater Accra, mountainous. And indeed, I 2008 manifesto of the National Democratic Congress. There is a promise in that manifesto which said lands will be released to pre-acquisition owners, and that is an injustice for some of these lands to be continue to be held by the state. As I say, let the debate continue, let the public discussion continue. Let's have a national conversation about this. And as I say again, the Babaye public forum, Babaye symposium, Lands Commission is going to organize a big public forum. let the country take a decision on public lands, and we will be very happy to abide by it. The most important thing is that we manage these lands responsibly and with integrity.
These lands normally are returning Albertino na I'm sure you know about that. Yes, you really see my family no Bettina so Abu Jinapor wato 10 plots. John Jinapor 15 plots. Jamin Kobo be the modi meet me abu Medina and get away with it. But what is it? Yes, one of fetching to talk. And that the optics don't look good.
Yeah, well, Sabi say ye some boninti near to be a dianameboa. Na me baby am tea any omanpanyi akufado baby or Tennessee e wonyina so bia fa kwan boni so akoto abanya sase and last obi de ne ho akɔhye baby situation mo situation of conflict of interest e be di hujuma. There's no two ways about it. Every people come to public life through with different attitudes, but the most important thing is that when the evidence is before us, we'll act on it.
Obisi Mimbisa says, so when are you going to divest or divest or release lands in Bono East and Ahafo?
Oh yeah, those are big ticket major issues on the table. And New Lands Act, you know, the New Lands Act of 2020, Act 1036. There's a provision in the New Lands Act that say within the 6 months after the passage of the act, or after the act comes into effect, government should set up a committee to advise the president on lands which should be divested. And as a matter of fact, if a lands commissioner here Juma kakra on lands commission committee na ye Juma de omo report a breme mesuma sa ye committee a me person mo pensen mo no mo ko Ghana ba bia ene ahemfo ne amanfo di nkomo na di nkita ho ne ehu kwan ye befa so a ye de be di sa Juma no ene kwan ye befa so ne efutu e de ba koma omampanyi ama omampanyi etimetu anamo papa ebebo e man ni nyina owura and Honorable Andy Apia Kubi, former Deputy Minister for Railways, I think. Also, you'll be a Odim Dia Kesepa or Sassemun. No, Mama na chairman of that committee. I think say NCBA committee need your report beba. Your report ba. Yede futuni ba ko mama mpanyi so etu anamo eso tu na me gidi say bono is na hafu nyina ebeka ho bi.
I see.
Peace FM 104.3 good to me take